Siddhartha Gautama, more commonly known as the Buddha, was a Hindu prince who dared to speak out against the common belief of society. He was born to the king and queen of the Shakya clan. It may seem like a minor part of India, but it played a big role in the region. Buddha was always different in his family because of his behavior. He always wondered about the meaning of life and wasn't content with his life in the palace. When he was a kid, a monk foretold that he would either grow up to be a great king or an even greater monk. To stop Siddhartha from becoming a monk, his father banned him from leaving the palace by building a wall and providing everything he needed inside. The king also made a new law stopping sick and old people to come outside, making sure that Buddha couldn't see any suffering in the world. Even though Buddha didn't see any suffering within the palace, he still felt something missing in his life. He finally ventured out into the world outside the walls, not listening to his dad. When he came outside, he saw what are now known as the four troubling sights: an old man, a sick man, a dead man, and a begging monk. This made him want to leave the palace walls and finally find the meaning of life.
Once Buddha saw all of the sadness in the world, he realized he wanted to fix it. Even though he was married and he had a newborn child, his mission to find the meaning of life was more important to him. He gave all the luxury around him and went to find answers to his questions. Nirvana, as described by Buddha, is everything and nothing at the same time. It is the paradox of life. For Buddha, he thought that people could only reach nirvana by rejecting Hinduism and the caste system, that Buddhism is the one true way of life and that is the purest way to live. Hinduism was Buddha's first religion, but once he actually studied it, trying to find the answer to life, he realized there were many negative aspects to the religion, such as the caste system, sacrificing animals to God, and the de-evaluation of females. As a result, Buddha started doubting the religion of Hinduism and started thinking of ways to lead a better life. People saw this as a way of Buddha taking a stand and giving them a choice. Hinduism and Buddhism are alike and different in many ways. Buddhism didn't need priests or rituals because it was believed in the religion that anybody could reach nirvana, unlike Hinduism. It didn't matter about your family status, meaning the caste system. Hinduism also believed in gods and let them be their guide in life. But Buddhism didn't believe Buddha to be their god. They thought of him as the founder of Buddhism and the person brave enough to speak out against Hinduism and to speak out for the rights of the lower class. Even though Buddhism and Hinduism both practice meditation and yoga, Buddhists today don't pray to God in hopes of getting their wishes fulfilled. They meditate to find nirvana as Buddha did many centuries ago.
People of the lower class were now free to find nirvana and were not held back by their caste. Farmers, slaves, the untouchables, and the others of their class were happy to know that they were now able to find enlightenment. The Buddha brought hope to the people of the lower caste. The Buddha stood for equality among the people, and he even had to go against his father's will to get there. He wanted all the people to care about each other and live a peaceful life, and he wanted others to look at each other as equals instead of thinking that one is better than the other. Buddha is known for his wisdom, and Buddhists believe that he got his wisdom from reaching nirvana and was possible because of all the events that led up to it.
The Buddha held sermons around India. At these sermons, he talked about how everybody should act as equals and how they could reach inner peace. Buddha's sermons were known for the knowledge and new perspective that was gained there. People from all around India came to learn about his teachings from him himself. The Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are the first teachings of Buddhism. The best way to help the people attain wisdom and liberation was to point out the very truth of things, meaning to point out the way things are. By seeing the way things really are, the students of Buddhism learn how to eliminate wrong views and perceive their delusion. And by eliminating wrong views and the causes of delusion, automatically, the causes of one's suffering and hardships will be destroyed.
The Eightfold Paths are the correct intentions, the correct state of mind, the right view or perspective, correct effort, and correct action. Using the Four Noble Truths, you can get to the Eightfold Path, and using the Eightfold Path, you can reach Nirvana. Buddhism is made up of many perspectives and doesn't have just one idea like Hinduism does. The middle path is a pathway between emotional detachment to everything and wanting everything. The middle path is the way Buddhism is practiced. It was the way Buddha sought out the reason for life. It is a route of emotional detachment without worldly detachment. The middle path symbolizes Buddha and Buddhism as it was many years ago. It is a reason for people to live in a flawless way, like the prince of the Shakya clan did.
Dharma, or often called the teachings of Buddha, were the main focus of Buddha's message to the people. They could be thought of as the cosmic laws of Buddhism, and were the carriers of good sense and wholesomeness. Buddha created and followed these laws after he realized he couldn't find the answer to life in Hinduism, and also realized that the caste system was unfair and cruel to the people of the lower class. These laws were made to make up for the caste system in Buddhism and keep order and balance in India. Buddha and many Indian citizens thought these laws were better, fairer, not dependent on family status, and he could still lead a peaceful and wholesome life without being a Brahmin or on the top of the caste system.
Buddha changed the world for the better.
His taking a stand made a huge difference and showed all people that they can always become better and should always speak their mind.
Buddha also made many paths that people take in everyday life, like being nice to others, not hurting living creatures, being vegetarian, being respectful to all people in general, and to be a peaceful person.
He wanted people to know how he felt, and he wasn't afraid to do so.
Buddha was one of the greatest leaders of his time. He still is an important leader who brought a lot of courage to the world.
Overall, Buddha was a unique character from the start.
He always spoke his mind and wasn't afraid to leave everybody behind and start a new life on his own.
Buddha was unlike any other normal prince, but he dared to speak out against the common belief of society, his father the king, his Hindu family, all of the Shakya clan, India, and anybody and everybody who practiced Hinduism.
Buddha started off on the wrong path to nirvana, but he corrected his mistakes and found the middle path.
Once he achieved nirvana, he followed the cosmic laws of the universe, or moksha, to stay on that path and keep living the way he achieved nirvana.
The Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and Dharma kept Buddhism alive for many years after Buddha died.
They were all on the path to nirvana and were the reason that Buddha stood up for what he believed in and how he found the answer to life and nirvana.
Buddha was an inspiration to India and everybody around the world.